Hey Hive, this is Nika.
And Shauna, and this is It Takes a BeyHive, the show where two best friends share their love for Beyonce.
And in this episode, we'll be introducing ourselves to the Hive and how we got here and why we decided to do a podcast. All right, so we're finally doing this.
After I don't know how many years.
I feel like we talked about doing this. I don't know if it was specifically a podcast, but like we talked about doing this for forever.
Mhm.
And I'm really excited that we get to take our conversations, whether it's car rides or text messages or going back and forth with each other, now in a space where like we get other people to comment.
Yes, getting other people to say and agree with me because I be right most of the time
And
when it comes to
sometimes
Beyonce.
sometimes you be tripping. But the good thing about this space is it's all about Beyonce. So I think we have our space to have our agreements and disagreements and get other Hive members to join in. So
Mhm.
I'm excited. Okay. So this part is about like who we are. So kind of like how we met, our dynamic. So, do you want me to go first or you want to go?
Okay, so we've been best friends since we were 12 years old. We met in middle school in seventh grade. And I wouldn't say that Beyonce
Brought
made
us
our
together.
friendship. I wouldn't say Beyonce brought us together. We definitely was friends before Beyonce, but we was friends for at least 3, 4 years before Beyonce. Okay, I want to say
Look at me trying to
three.
do the math.
So like 12, 13, 14, 15, like three, something like
3
that.
years.
Like
Yeah.
3 years before we started to really come on to like Beyonce. We knew Beyonce before that. But we wasn't really Beehive before
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
But
wasn't like a huge Beyonce, like liked her, wasn't like the biggest fan of hers. I think around that time, my biggest person was Whitney Houston. So like that was my
mhm.
love.
And
But
mine was Mariah Carey. Couldn't tell me nothing about Mariah Carey at that
still can't
time.
tell me nothing about neither one of them. But yes.
We can have talks about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we was friends from 12, and I think Beyonce just gave us something else to be friends about.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it made it closer. Well, maybe, because some of the trips that we've gone on, we got to like spend different time with each other and learn each other. So I would say we had moments where we could just be more intimate because of Beyonce, but I think that would have probably happened in other ways anyways, but
I agree. I think the biggest thing was like, especially like when her albums came out
we just
or
had something to
like
talk about.
tour stuff, there was more stuff. There was more like the excitement behind it, listening to the albums together, doing a lot of things. Probably would have done a lot of things together anyways, but
Right.
like B was definitely just our vibe, our flavor. And I think it was really the both of us who was just like dead set B fans.
hmm
And then everybody around us was just like, yeah, that's cool.
That's cute. That's cute. And I think it's funny because like we was really, really close best friends, but we developed into Beehive separately.
Right.
It wasn't like I was Beehive and I was like, come listen to this. Like I need you to like, as my friend to join me.
Yeah.
And or the vice versa. It was just like as individuals, we found this and then was like, oh shit. Like yes, like I get it too.
Mhm. Yes, yes, I agree. So I think for us, the reason why we wanted to even like start a podcast was because like I think it was that one day we were driving back from Georgia and we were just talking about like
Where
we
was we in
literally went
Georgia for?
we for Kia.
Oh, we went to see our other friend. Okay.
So we was driving back, and I think when we was driving back, we listened to every album and like in order
Hmm.
and discussed each song in detail. And I remember being like, I think it was you. You was just like, we just need to talk about this
This
on
needed to be
YouTube or something.
recorded. This whole thing, this whole process needed to be recorded. Because
Because
there were
who
some
else is
people that
doing
need,
this?
yeah. Some other people
Who
needed to be a
else?
part of that conversation.
But also, who else is gonna care other than Beehive, right? Like, I
Right.
feel like
Nobody
it
cares.
takes a Beehive to understand
Definitely takes a
us going
beehive.
through
Nobody else,
each
everybody else would look
song.
us like we crazy.
Crazy. It's all right though. But I think from then, I think we just kept talking about it. Like, oh, we need to. I'm like, there's so many people that's out there that's BeyHive. Some people that might agree with me, some people that might agree with you. I think we're always usually on the same
Most of the
wavelength
time.
most of the
Most
time.
of the time.
Um, Unless we talk about specific songs.
Unless we talk about
But
specific songs, and then you're a little crazy.
but I think it was important for us to, especially after this last concert, just wanting to connect with other BeyHive members. And also the anticipation of Act 3 as well. Like I really
Mm.
wanted us to kind of like have this community of BeyHive to talk about this, get into it. There's so much like things that people are anticipating and guessing that's going to be happening. And it's good to share a platform with somebody else and other people. Um, to kind of just figure out what's next, but also to talk about Beyonce's catalog because
Mm-hmm.
she has such an amazing catalog.
There's a lot to talk about when it comes to Beyonce,
Oh, yeah.
actually.
So, what was our first B moment? When did it really click for us? And what's our favorite early memory?
Okay. So you want to start?
Yeah. So I think for me, to think about like my Beyonce's journey, I remember growing up and being at my aunt's house and
How old were you?
my, oh, how old was I? Probably like 10. I want to say around 10. And so for me, I didn't really get to experience Destiny's Child the way everybody else got to experience Destiny's Child. I was born in Trinidad, and I think coming from Trinidad to the US and, moving to New York, it was a culture shock for me. And it was a difference in the music, it was a difference in the cultures around me. But I don't really remember hearing much about Destiny's Child while I was in Trinidad, but I definitely heard about Whitney Houston. So I think that's why Whitney was such a big thing to me, is because I already knew about her. But then obviously my background of culture music is soca and, just the different types of music. So coming up, like I wasn't really introduced to Beyonce or Destiny's Child until like I was like probably around 9, 10 years old. So I remember like at my aunt's house, my cousin would always be playing like Destiny's Child album, and I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool or whatever. But I never really got into it. Um, I think when I started to was I think the first song that really caught my attention with Beyonce was Crazy in Love. And I think for me, it was just always that walk that she does in the beginning when she's just
Catwalk
walking down.
assassin.
Yes. I was like, oh, she cute. Oh, she cute. But I mean, it was like a surface level, like, I like this song, like, I like this song. But I think for me, like, I really didn't understand. I didn't really like think of music the way I think of music now, which is something we can dive into a little bit later. Like the way what music represents for me now is definitely a little bit different. Do you want to share when you first heard Beyonce?
Sure. So I can't really remember the first time I heard Beyonce, but I definitely know that it was during Destiny's Child era. I remember, so I'm 32, so I was born in 92, and Beyonce kind of came out when, 97?
Don't ask me no numbers, girl.
97? Like that. So what was I, like 5? Right? So I do remember, I don't remember the first time I've heard Bills, 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 but I do remember Bills, Bills, Bills. Right. I just don't remember the first time. I remember it being very, very popular in America. Obviously, that was super popular. But I think like the earliest memory I have of myself with Beyonce was when it was DC3 with the Survivor album. So think I was probably like 8. Was I 8 or 9 at this point? Maybe. And for the 4th of July, my mom choreographed a dance for me and my 2 cousins to
Oh,
dance
she cute.
to dance to Bootylicious.
She cute.
So like we had like this big 4th of July event, and we did multiple dances, but one of the numbers was me and my 2 cousins dancing to Bootylicious, and we had like these sunflower outfits. They were not the same outfit, but they was the same outfit, like Destiny's Child. So like one of us had like a sunflower
It was
like
the same
a
theme, but
camisole. Yeah, one
hmm
of us had like the denim. Had all three of us had on yellow with denim and sunflowers. We danced and bootylicious. I remember, so when I was younger, I didn't like Beyonce. I was very much one of those people, crazy people, who blamed Beyonce. And this is how you know I was a child, right? Because you're just going with the rhetoric of like random people. Like you don't even have your own thoughts of like Beyonce is conceited. Like like she wants to be in the light and she doesn't share with the other girls and stuff like. So I had that kind of thought process when it came to Beyonce. So when we was in that group and whenever we played Destiny's Child, because you used to play Destiny's Child, right? That was a thing. You played Destiny's Child. I was always Kelly. I was gonna be Kelly. I was never gonna be Beyonce. Now let's play Destiny's Child. I'm gonna be Beyonce.
all day,
I want to be Beyonce.
all day.
Or Michelle, because Michelle gets the best. She gets the best parts in the song. But I used to want to be Kelly. I never wanted to be Beyonce. It wasn't until I got to high school, and she went solo. Went solo. She went solo, and then she went back. They did the last album together, Destiny Fulfilled, and then then she went back solo and did B Day. So it wasn't until B Day I definitely listened to Dangerously in Love. Like I remember my stepmother playing Dangerously in Love, the album, throughout the house all the time. Like that was a thing. I knew all the songs of Dangerously in Love. I just didn't have the connection to it. I had the connection to Survivor album. I
Hmm
missed Destiny Fulfilled and Dangerously in Love for myself, even though I heard all of it. And then I came back with B Day.
Mm.
It was B Day when I was like, you know what? Let me see what the hype about. When I was in high school, I started to kind of develop my own identity, I would say.
Yeah.
Before that, I was not really like a full person, kind of. I was just like living, going through the
hmm
motions of living. But high school was when I was like, I want to have my own identity. I want to have my own thoughts. And I'm like, let me see what the hype about. And I was doing this with everything. I was watching different shows like, what is the hype around Desperate Housewives? I don't know. I feel like it was Desperate Housewives at that time. But I was
I
like,
think it was. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let me see what the hype is about because I don't understand what people are talking about. So I was going through this phase with Beyonce, like, let me see what the hype is about for myself. And I watched, this is like in the middle of the B Day era. Like, I was already hearing Ring the Alarm. I was already hearing Deja Vu. That had already
Right.
happened.
Yeah.
That already
hmm
happened. So, but at the end of the era, or closer to the end of the era, I decided to go on YouTube and watch not I am. I'm in the
Beyonce
wrong
experience.
Beyonce experience. I'm like I'm in the wrong era. I decided to watch the Beyonce experience. And from that day, literally from that day, I was BeyHive. Like
And
it
literally after you
switched.
watched it, you made me watch it.
I made everybody watch it. I was like, yo, y'all, I get it. I was literally switched. Like a switch went off. I was BeyHive. I was like, yo, like Maya, come watch this. Rakia, watch this. Mommy, watch this. Nika, y'all gotta watch this. Like, look at what she is doing. She is literally singing the whole time for 2 hours straight in heels. Can you even walk down the block in heels? I don't even think you can walk down
That
the
was your
block.
connection,
That was
the
me.
heels.
She's doing it in heels. I was like blown. I was blown away. Dangerously in Love in Beyonce experience and just like everything about it. I was like, oh my God, like I was just so amazed on how she put on the show. It wasn't even only just her singing and dancing in
Mm.
heels for so long. It was she threw in crazy. Like how did she think to put crazy and her crazy together? How did she think to slow down her song and I was like amazed that she wasn't singing it the same exact way that it was recorded. And that kind of convinced me that her mic was on, like, because it was
Oh, her mic
different.
is on. That I can't wait to get to that conversation. The
Yes,
mic
it was
one.
different, right? Like, and when I watched different videos of it, it wasn't the same. So, like, she would sing Dangerously in Love in night one in such and such place, and Dangerously in Love in night three in a different place, and it wasn't the same. So, like, how is she even, like, this is really crazy. And I was done. It was done for me. I was BeyHive since that day and more BeyHive now.
Oh my gosh. And it's crazy because I remember that. And I remember specifically coming to your house and watching the Beyonce experience. And I think the first time I watched it, because I mean, obviously now I've watched it a billion times, but like I think the first time I watched it, I was in awe. And for everybody else is like you're in awe for all of these different reasons. But for me, it was I had already liked Check on It a lot. So when I
Mm.
saw her perform it, I was
Acoustically?
like, if you got it, flaunt
Who
it. I
who
said, oh,
sings
I can flaunt.
who sings a rap pop R&B song acoustically?
I was like, oh, I got it, and I can flaunt it. How old was I? Like 15? I got it, and I can flaunt it, girl. Like, what's up? So, like, I would have to agree with you. I think in that B-Day era, in that Beyonce experience is really what connected me. And I remember we came back and watched the Beyonce experience at your house all the time.
We got
Like,
it on DVD at some point.
at that point, yeah. Like we watched it all the time. And I just remember like I don't know how I don't remember how everything just continued, but I remember I had to have everything Beyonce.
Yeah. I think you was a little bit more like I think it was the same amount of obsessed, but we showed expressed our our obsession slightly different.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I remember
I was going to look up every single live performance ever and watch them all.
I wasn't doing
And
that. I
you
was just
was
watching the Beyonce. I was watching the Beyonce experience and collecting.
and collecting
Okay?
Beyonce
I
merch.
had to go back and oh my God, I'm tripping on the name of this concert now, but like I went back. She had a concert before the Beyonce experience, and I'm
The
gonna kill.
Dangerously in Love one
Uh-huh,
when she was wearing the
yeah,
red.
when she's wearing that
What
red
is that
dress.
called?
Yes, she's wearing that red dress, and I remember I was going back and looking at that.
It's like
I didn't look
Wembley
at
or something.
I didn't go back and live at Wembley. I
Hmm.
didn't go back and look at every video to see all the angles like you did.
I
Like
did.
you like to do your research in
I
that
did.
space. Yes, you're
I
very
was
like
researching.
analyze, research, whatever. I was more of like, oh my God, I love Beyonce. I don't remember what Christmas it was, but I remember whatever Christmas it was, my mom had bought me my first laptop and my sister bought me like it was like a Beyonce blanket and
Yes,
I
I remember
cried.
that blanket.
I cried. I cried for the blanket. Who in their teenage years is gonna say, screw the laptop? Oh my God, it's a Beyonce blanket.
Do you still have that blanket? You had that blanket for a long time.
Listen, I think I do. I think it's at in my mom's storage room. Cause I never threw away anything. And when
Hmm.
my mom was moving a couple of years ago and I went back, she was pulling out all these things out of all these drawers and all these corners. And I was like, oh yeah, we keeping that, we keeping that, we keeping that. So I feel like it's still there because I would have never thrown it away.
Right.
But like so crazy. I remember like for work one year, somebody bought me like a Beyonce calendar. I was just like, it was on my wall. Whatever year it was like three
It didn't
years
matter
later,
what
and that
year.
calendar was still on the wall. It was still on the wall. I collected all of her like DVDs, the visual album. Like just I was just that person that
Hmm.
needed every time something released, I needed to have it. I needed it.
Hmm.
Even with streaming, I had to buy it, had to get like obsessed.
And I just wanted to see her perform.
And you just wanted to
So I
analyze
had the
every
DVDs.
performance.
I had the DVDs. I didn't need the blankets. I didn't need the calendars. I didn't need T-shirts and stuff like that. I just needed to memorize all the performances. I needed to hear the voice as
Hmm.
much as possible.
Yes, yes, yes. This is so fun. This is a good conversation. You see how we learn a lot about each other, Charlie? This is cute, cute. Okay. So, what do you think it means to be in the Beehive?
I was thinking about this earlier, actually. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this. And I was thinking about this earlier because I was in the Beehive on Facebook and somebody had wrote a comment like, that's how you know not everybody who say they're Beehive is actually Beehive. And then the person responded like, just because such and such doesn't make me not Beehive, you know? And I'm like, that's such an interesting question because it's like, so I think what I've come to think in the last hour or two is that if you call yourself Beehive, more than likely you're Beehive. That's what I think. Like, all it takes is for you to identify as Beehive. If you're identifying as Beehive, you're Beehive. for
Right.
sure. Now, I do think there are some people who do not identify as BeyHive who actually BeyHive.
Hmm. For
They're
men.
actually BeyHive. It's our husbands. Yes. Yes. But just in general, like I know there's a lot of people who actually like Beyonce, but they're so afraid of being a BeyHive identifying person because we're crazy. I know. Like I know we're crazy. I know it's one of the most stigmatized groups of fans. And for a long time, I knew I was BeyHive. I know I was BeyHive since I was 15. But it wasn't something I would lead with.
Right.
It's
Right.
low key embarrassed at a certain point for a long time in my life to be BeyHive was embarrassing because of not because of Beyonce, right? Like why would you be embarrassed of Beyonce? But because of the stigma, like how BeyHive behave. You want to be a part of BeyHive. But I was also one of those people that you ain't like for being BeyHive. I was terrible. I was terrible because I would be fighting for Beyonce
All day.
at
All
any
day.
point. I would be
Hmm.
fighting for Beyonce, and so I know I was definitely one of those annoying Beehive people. And so for a long time, I didn't want to be Beehive associated with Beehive, but I also act just like everybody in Beehive. It was a what you call that, a paradox, the
I
Beehive
would probably
paradox.
I would probably say the same thing. I think for me, like, as you were talking, it made me decide because I went and I Googled it earlier, but like I just re-Googled it just now to see what Google said about like how
What
do
is
you
it?
know that you're a
How do you
beehive,
know?
right? So like it says, the term obviously refers to Beyonce's dedicated fan base. It means that you're a highly engaged fan who's deeply passionate about Beyonce's music and career. You actively participate in online discussions, support her music, and defend her criticism. That's a great way to define beehive because I think like when you think about yourself, like I think about all the things that I was doing to define myself as beehive, and at that point I don't think necessarily it was like the online presence, but like I remember going back and forth with my brother about Beyonce because he'd be like, oh, Kanika, you so obsessed with Beyonce, da, da, da. I'm like, well, first of all, Mr. Who Loves Jay-Z. Like, I don't see the problem right now, okay? Where's the issue?
Right.
And we used to go back and forth all the time, but like, people just used to be like, oh, it's Beyonce this, a Beyonce that. And I'm like, and? Like, I'm confused. So definitely like the defending of Beyonce. Definitely now, especially now in this era that we're in with the online presence, social media, da da da, like being on social media, following all the pages, like I definitely sometime later on want to talk about a lot of these social media pages who like dedicate their space to Beyonce because I follow a lot of them and I love a lot of them. And then just really being passionate and enthusiastic about her music, waiting up late night. I remember we was waiting up when Renaissance was getting ready to drop.
Coachella
Like
was the worst one.
Coachella, oh my God. I remember it being like 3 o'clock in the morning
She's
because
still
we're
not on.
in
She's still
East
not on.
Coast. We're in East Coast. And it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, like, Beyonce, what are you doing to us? We got work tomorrow.
Didn't go
Oh
to
no,
work that
no,
day.
no, it was church the next day. It wasn't work, it
I
was
worked
church.
the next day. I worked the next day.
But I
I had
just
my side
remember,
job and I did
yes.
not go to work the next day.
But I just remember like, all of that, like just, even when we went to see her at Good Morning America, like, just really just the passion behind it. So I think for me, like definitely in that the Beyonce experience era is definitely when I became Beehive. And I think it's the excitement behind it. I think Beyonce is more than just like she's more than just an artist. Like her work really truly speaks for herself, and I think that's really what gets me so excited about it. Like I love being able to hear the note and I care. Like I love being able to just see
Yeah.
her do these like acoustic versions of songs, like just being able to like be in the zone with her and like, oh girl, yes, or her switching it up, like why are you singing, like she sings songs that makes me feel like that's a whole different song. Why you do that? that that's not how it was on the album. That's not how
No.
it was in that concert. That's not how it was in that
Right.
concert. That you know what I mean? So like Beehive is definitely just like a different, like you have to understand her to really be in it. And sometimes it's not necessarily understanding her. Like it's like respecting her,
Respecting her
right?
for sure.
And then like for my husband, Harry, low key realizing that he be listening to Lemonade and Renaissance when I'm
By
not in the
yourself.
car.
By himself.
It's wild. Okay. He'd be like, she cool. Right. So I think for me, that's really like what BeyHive represents for me.
BeyHive. BeyHive is mad fun.
Oh, BeyHive. Ain't never be says. She was saying that at some concert. Oh, BeyHive. All right, now, Shauna, tell them why it takes a BeyHive. What will they be expecting from us?
Oof. Everything. We plan to give you rankings, all kinds of rankings, like what's the best album, what's the best songs, what's the worst, I should say, the worst songs,
I don't
right?
know if worst is a good
Worst
word
is a
for
good
it, but
word.
at least a
Worst is
favorite
a good
song.
song. It's a good word because that's how I feel about some of them. So bunch of rankings, a little bit of education because just like how we had to fall in love with Beyonce through the Beyonce experience, there's some people out there that's still on the fence. So hopefully some of the things that we will show will kind of push them over, like so they will finally get it. So a little bit of education, definitely some games. We're gonna be testing our beehiveness.
Oh,
Like, are you actually beehive like you say you beehive?
you know my memory ain't too good sometimes, but yeah.
Testing our beehive, just like sharing stories with different members of the beehive. If somebody want to come on here and tell us their story about being beehive, how Beyonce saved your life, all those things. So pretty much anything that was related to Beyonce and loving Beyonce, appreciating Beyonce. We want to share this space with just like any beehive people.
Yeah. You could be a little bit be curious
You
and
could
still
be
listen to us.
curious.
You
Yes.
can listen to us. I think it's a good space for you to figure out like, maybe you don't have to be in a beehive, but like respecting her artistry. Because I feel like she's at a level where you can respect and you don't have to love who she is. Because let's be honest, y'all really don't know her like that enough to like hate her,
Right.
right? You hate in some sort of idea, but I think this space is for you to figure that out. And whether it's like, I'm just going to respect her and move on or whatever you prefer. Um, we gonna get into it. It's gonna be a lot of laugh. Like I said, it's gonna be some chaos in here. Cause Shauna and I like to turn up sometimes, but I'm really excited for the fact that one, we're doing this, and then two, that we get to have these conversations with you all as well. So, be a part of our world. We're excited to bring you into it. Let's get crazy with it. And we hope that you tune in and enjoy with us.
Exactly. So make sure you subscribe and like and all the other YouTube things and follow so you never miss another episode of It Takes a Beehive.
Also follow us on Instagram and
Definitely.
TikTok at It Takes a Beehive. And we'll be posting short reels. You'll get to learn a little bit more about us. We'll post pictures and things of us being a part of the concert or our experiences. So get to know us by following us at It Takes a Beehive.
Perfect. All right. So see you guys in episode 2.
Bye.
Bye.